There are some diets that are absolutely horrible for weight loss and they end up failing at the end. And I, in this video, want to attempt to kind of explain a particular way of eating that's starting to gain a little bit of traction. I honestly think it's not worth talking about, but I want to do it in this video just in case you're starting to see this trend. And I've even spoken about it on this channel as well. And this particular way of eating has actually helped me lose weight as well. But I want to kind of give you the pros and cons. And at the end of it, I want to kind of weigh in as to what would be the best approach for you so you can decide which way you want to go about doing this. All right. Now, before we begin, for those of you who have been watching me, you know what I'm all about. My name is Tim Ernst. I'm an intermittent keto fasting coach who's, lost 56 pounds just in this year alone. In about 6 days, I will be going on a cruise. So I'm trying to drop to that 175. If you watched my video yesterday, I got to 177. So we are right on track. I should have no issues getting to 175, all right? And I've also coached hundreds of men and women from all over the world to lose at least 40 pounds in 16 weeks using my Keto Shed 40 coaching program. So if you want more information on that program, I'll go ahead and put a link in the description of this video. When you click it, it'll take you to another video and kind of explain more in detail as to what I do and how I can potentially help you. If you're really serious about wanting to jump on a call with me, I would do it now because I am going on a cruise next week and I can only take so many calls at a time. So if you really want to book a call with me, this is a free strategy call. And the call is really designed to do three things. We'll talk about where you're currently at with your body, what you would really want to be, like your really big goal, and then we'll figure out some type of game plan to get you unstuck so you can lose the amount of weight that you want to lose. All right. So with that said, let's talk about the low-fat diet. Now, I'll give you a really good example of a low-fat diet. This is something that I've done before, but when I started on my weight loss journey, and I've been doing fitness since I was 25 years old. I'm 49, I'll be 50 next year. So I've been doing this for 24 years. I've been doing this for a very, very long time. When I started my journey, at the age of 25, I didn't know a whole lot about what I was doing, but I did have a coworker kind of teach me about nutrition. And one of the ways that he taught me was to take fat completely out of the diet. So it was essentially a low-fat diet. You're probably aware back in the old days, back in the 80s and 90s, a lot of bodybuilders did, the boring chicken, broccoli, brown rice, oatmeal, egg whites. Everything was very, very, very lean. Bland, boring, all right? Now, the pros of this type of diet will get you shredded for sure. However, you want to look at this as what is the long game? Are you planning to just lose a lot of weight really, really quickly and then eventually do whatever and then gain all the weight back? If I had to guess, you don't want to go down that route. You want to lose the weight and keep it off for good, but have an enjoyable lifestyle rather than sticking to a bland and boring diet such as a low-fat diet. Now, if you want to do something short-term, you got a trip coming up like I am, low-fat diets can work, but as you guys have been watching me, I've been applying ETRF. This stands for Early Time Restricted Feeding. So basically what I do is I front load all my calories at the beginning of the day when I'm active, when I'm working out, I'm doing yard work, I'm taking walks, riding the bike. You're gonna burn a lot of those calories. You're not gonna burn all of it, but you'll burn a great deal of it. Makes no sense to put your meal at the end of the day when you're sitting on the couch watching TV. Okay, so that's what I've been doing. You guys know I've done carnivore this year. I do a lot of prolonged fasting, keto diet, alternate day fasting. That's kind of like my world and what I do. However, like I just said, when I was starting my journey, all the way back in 2001 is when I started my whole journey. Can't believe 24 years ago, I was doing more of a low-fat diet. And I got to tell you, one thing I found when I did a low-fat diet is I was always hungry. So I was meal prepping 5 to 6 meals a day. I would bring it into work, put it in the refrigerator, and had to eat like every 2 hours. Number one, I found out real quick, I don't have the time to eat 4, 5, 6 meals a day, and that's the kind of meals you're gonna have to eat when you're doing a low-fat diet. And I'll tell you why. Fat, like the keto diet and carnivore, are very satiating. They keep you full, all right? When you eat foods that keep you full, like a keto carnivore diet, guess what happens? You end up eating less. What happens when you eat less? You automatically are put in a calorie deficit. What happens when you're in a calorie deficit? You lose weight. You see how easy it is when you adopt a diet that's high in fat like keto and carnivore? You're going to be eating less, you're not going to struggle, and guess what? Your cravings will virtually vanish. I wouldn't say 100%, but what I can tell you, when you eat foods high in fat, you're less likely to grab chips, to grab sugar and candies and whatever. You're going to be a lot more satisfied. When you do a low-fat diet, what I found myself doing is by like one day out of that week, I would have a full-blown cheat given into my cravings because I just couldn't take it anymore. Because when you're not eating the fat in your diet, you want something. Your body is going to crave it. So you're going to cave in. So what I'm saying is, if you try to adopt a low-fat diet long-term, at some point you're going to cave in. You will cave into your temptations. I see this happen all the time. And then come next year, you've put on all that weight back on, and now you're making a new New Year's resolution to get that weight back off. Why not choose a diet that is going to keep you satiated? It's going to keep you full. You're less likely to cave into your cravings because you're eating high fats. Why not adopt that kind of a diet? This way, you can keep the weight off for good. Now, I'm not saying that if you do a keto carnivore diet, you're going to have to do that for the rest of your life as well. But I will tell you, the adherence is absolutely insane when you do keto and carnivore because you're less likely to cave into your cravings because you're eating such high fat. I'm telling you, I was bored eating chicken, brown rice, broccoli, or chicken, brown rice, green beans, bland egg whites, all that kind of stuff. Eventually I caved in and I started putting the weight back on because I just couldn't take it anymore. The low-fat diet just is, in my opinion, fails long-term. Look at bodybuilders. How do they eat? They eat a low-fat diet and they're very high on carbohydrates. Most of it is complex carbs. They're not simple carbs, complex carbs. Big difference. They digest slowly. Complex carbs digest slowly, whereas simple carbs digest very quickly. So, like I just gave you a perfect example, chicken, brown rice, broccoli. That would be a basic meal that a lot of these bodybuilders would eat. Now what happens, they get all in shape, they get shredded, whatever, they step on stage. They're at their weakest when they step on stage. You know what happens after they compete? I've seen this happen. I'm trying to remember the guy's name, but once the competition was over, I think his name was, his last name was Wheels. I can't remember his name. I know his last name is Wheels. I don't remember his first name, but he's a bodybuilder. And I think he gained like 50 pounds in like 3 days. Larry Wheels, that's his name, Larry Wheels. He dieted down, got shredded, did his competition. Afterwards, he gained 50 pounds in like 3 to 4 days. You know why? Because he was craving that whole time when he was doing that low-fat diet that he couldn't help himself. And he binged for 3 days. Imagine getting into your best shape and gaining 50 pounds in 3 days. That is insane. Why would you want to go back and forth like that with your diet? Like, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to bulk. I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to bulk. Why not just get in your best shape and stay there? Make it a lifestyle change. The problem I see with a lot of people who do diets every single year is they're looking for a quick fix rather than a lifestyle change. Now, I'm the first one to confess to you, I've gone up and down with my weight too. You guys have heard my story, and if you haven't, you know, back in 2018, I lost 70 pounds in 7 months doing keto intermittent fasting. And then 2020 happened. We all know what happened in 2020. Restaurants shut down, gyms shut down. I was less motivated. I couldn't work out at home. I'm used to going to the gym. And you know what happened? The weight started coming back on. I put on, not all 70, but I did put on a good 60 pounds. I got up to like 233 pounds, and I stayed there for 4 years. From 2020 to 2024, I could not get back to the keto and intermittent fasting. I was still working out, but I just couldn't get back on the diet. Until this year in 2025, I decided that's it. I am done. I am tired of being fat. I'm tired of seeing pictures of me with my face all puffy and blown up and trying to wear black and baggy clothes to hide my gut. I absolutely hate it. And if you haven't watched my video yesterday, you'll see I made a major transformation already this year. You guys will be able to see what I look like with my shirt off. At the beginning of this year, I had a big gut to what I look like right now. I'm starting to get my abs are showing through, and I've never been in such great shape. So what I'm saying is, why not pick a lifestyle that you can stick with? Find something that you can adhere to. And if you can adhere to a low-fat diet, by all means, stick with the low-fat diet. But I'm gonna tell you right now, at some point, you are gonna cave in. It will happen, all right? Now, I wanna let you guys know, hey, Tim, I've never done a keto diet. Maybe you have done a keto diet, but it worked for a while, but you plateaued and you got stuck. I know there's people on the internet that are on YouTube who've said everyone stalls on keto and this is why they're jumping on certain diets like low fat or the sugar diet. You guys know I've talked about that. And there's people that have said, oh yeah, I got out of my keto plateau when I did the sugar diet. Well, if you are someone who still likes your meat, you still like fat, and you want to do keto the right way, maybe you've never even done keto. I have a training that's called my 5 keto mistakes. These are major mistakes that people make, and this is the reason why people plateau and why they end up abandoning the keto diets, because they're making one of these 5 mistakes. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a comment that I will pin where you can get access to a free training. Okay, this is totally free. It'll send you to a video. It's basically on my YouTube channel, but I'm gonna link it in a pinned comment, my 5 keto mistakes. I want you to go ahead and click that link. You'll be sent to that YouTube video. And the first half of the video, you're gonna see all the people I've coached since 2018. I've been doing this for 7 years. I've been an online coach. The first half, you'll see all the people I've helped. You'll see how much weight they've lost. You're going to see some before and after transformations, actual physical pictures that I've coached personally. And then the other half is the actual training, all right? So just watch the whole thing. It's going to really benefit you. The other training I'm going to put in that pinned comment is my 5 intermittent fasting hacks, all right? The newest one I've been doing is ETRF. I don't have that one in this training, but I got 5 other intermittent fasting hacks that you can get for absolutely free. And I really don't know how long I'm going to keep these videos up, so make sure to click that link as well if you're trying to find a way to do intermittent fasting that's more based on your current lifestyle, because I know everyone's jobs are different. You're working at different times, so go watch that video as well. And once you've watched both of those videos, I'm going to give you an opportunity to work with me one-on-one if that's something you know you need. And what I find a lot of times, just from talking to hundreds, probably up to 1,000 people at this point, the number one reason why people don't lose weight is they have no one holding them accountable. Think about it. You can get diet plans online. If you just Google diet women, we have AI for crying out loud. You can Google, do an AI thing, get a meal plan. You can get workouts by watching YouTube videos. All that stuff you can get right now for nothing. However, why do people not lose weight when they have all this access? Okay, you're not short of information. The number one reason why people don't lose weight, they have no accountability. And that's the number one reason why people work with me, guys. I'm just gonna be transparent with you. They tell me all the time, Tim, I keep caving in, I can't stick to it. I feel like if I had a coach to tell me exactly what to do from A to Z, hold me accountable, I know, Tim, I could stick to it. But if you're leaving yourself accountable, you know what ends up happening? By human nature, you're just gonna let yourself off the hook every single time when nobody's watching. All right, so I wanna give you those free trainings. Check those out. And anyway, I hope this kind of clarifies as to which direction you wanna go, low fat, keto, carnivore, even the sugar diet, whatever. But I find for myself at this present moment, the ETRF is working very, very well. And I'm keeping it pretty much keto. And what I like about ETRF, if you watched my video yesterday, is you can sometimes, maybe have something you're not supposed to have and you're still gonna lose weight because you ate those calories earlier rather than later. So I hope this video helps you, and if it did, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and always hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, I'll see you then.